I'd like to dispel a myth for the ladies of the audience. And that myth is that CrossFit, or more specifically, weightlifting, is going to make you bulky. And so I think one of the most persistent, one of the most, I think, for a lot of us fitness and health coaches, one of the more frustrating myths that there is out there. So in this video, I kind of want to take just a minute to address that and dispel some of the myths. Right off the bat, I want to share with all the women in the audience that no amount of weightlifting is necessarily a weight gaining program. And to put it another way, CrossFit, even with a lot of weightlifting, and there's a lot of weightlifting in CrossFit, is not a weight gaining program. It's not. Especially for women. Physiologically, women don't have the testosterone levels to support massive amounts of muscle growth, especially if they're not actively trying to add a lot of extra body mass to their frame. I would go so far as to say that to bulk up at all for a woman has to be a conscious decision, and it's a decision that has to be supported by a diet that is intentional about gaining extra mass. In fact, I guarantee this, that if you can show up at CrossFit for day one and just eat your regular menu, eat the exact foods you regularly eat, exercise at CrossFit or any gym, but exercise at CrossFit especially, for 3-4 hours a week, and gain 10 pounds or 15 pounds of lean mass, please share that story with us so we can package it and sell it to a whole bunch of young, lean guys that are dying to add 10 pounds of mass to their frame. My point is that it hasn't happened, and it sure isn't going to happen to you. Adding mass, lean mass to the body, is not that easy. It's not a matter of showing up to CrossFit, doing a strength segment 3 times a week, doing a Metcon where there's 21, 15, 9 in deadlifts, and magically you become this bulky, massive version of yourself. Gals, it does not work that way. It absolutely does not. Now, let's take a moment and address a transient state that I think creates a decoy. It's a false positive for women that think, oh my gosh, weightlifting makes me bigger. And that transient state is what in the bodybuilding community they call the pump. And the easiest example is a bicep curl, so I'm going to run with that, but this could be applied to a whole bunch of deadlifts, a whole bunch of back squats, etc. If you do a whole lot of bicep curls in a row, the blood rushes to this area of the body in order to provide nutrients and energy to that area of the body to fuel the efforts the body is seeing. The body says, all right, I recognize, young female, that you are doing a lot of work with your biceps right now, and the body will shuttle the resources necessary to that area to provide for that effort. And that blood rush to the area can make the area become engorged, stretch the skin a little bit when the blood arrives there, and your arms feel bigger in that moment. Now, that is not an addition of lean muscle mass. That is not you getting huge, and that is not going to last either. Hour later, hour and a half later, that pump is going to be gone, and you'll be back to your regular size, except that your body will be in this hypermetabolic state where you will be burning fat, especially if you're doing the high intensity interval type cardio that CrossFit is really famous for, where you're pushing super hard for a short, intense time. Most CrossFit workouts for most people are interval efforts. Work really hard, rest because you have to, work really hard a little bit more, rest because you have to, repeat for 5 rounds, and then the Metcon is done. The entire CrossFit program being built on intensity circuits is one of these things that revs up your engine and helps you to burn body fat around the clock. Now, In the short term, you might have some muscle swollenness, that pump, but that is not you getting huge. And it does pass. Like I said, within an hour, within a couple of hours, your arms return to normal size in this example of the bicep curl. But what remains is that your body is a more effective fat incinerating engine, and that will last all day. If you are in CrossFit because you want to be a leaner version of yourself, if you are in CrossFit because you want to kill body fat, weightlifting is your asset. It is your ally. It is not your enemy. So, treat it as such. Treat weightlifting with the love and the respect that it deserves as you pursue your best self journey. This is WOD Doctors. Much love to all of you. Hopefully this sheds some light and clarifies some things so you guys better understand how weightlifting actually plays into your health and fitness picture. Take care.